So today I'm going to talk to you about playing to our strengths and the importance of collaboration.
Okay.
Both things that I think are really important to an indie artist. And I know in the past you've said to me that despite being a DJ for 20 years and being very successful in that role, you don't see yourself as a real DJ. Why is that?
Because I grew up listening to hip hop and was heavily inspired by all things hip hop, which then diversified into soul and reggae and rock and funk and disco, and every genre you can possibly think of inspired hip hop, because they sampled the absolute crap out of it. The hip hop culture, the DJing thing, turntablism, there are a lot of DJs out there that are far more technically able than I am. I have a great broad range of music and can mix really well, but yeah, I guess the whole DJ thing, what is a DJ if you can't scratch? That's, yeah.
But I think that really leads into the next point quite well, because obviously you've made a career and your DJing actually sustains, bankrolls other aspects of your career, like your label and like your production work. So obviously you've found something that you're really good at and you've stuck to it and done it really well. And I mean, you've done it so well that you've been able to collaborate with some amazing people. Can you tell me about that?
Yeah, for sure. I think you're spot on with that as well. Like, the artists I've been able to collaborate over the years with have been All Good Funk Alliance, probably the most notable. That purely started by reaching out to the guys and crashing in their spare room in the States and building a relationship, and then them asking us to collaborate with them and do vocal parts and then do remixes. And yeah, we've been really fortunate to go on that journey, and it really opened my eyes to the industry on a global scale, being able to collaborate with people that I'd respected for years and played their music for years. It really just opened my eyes to the industry and the realities of it, I guess, and made me also realise how lucky I am to have sustained an income from DJing the way that I have, when a lot of my peers overseas are really hustling and have daytime jobs and are just doing the grind, trying to invest in their art.
And it's amazing that you've actually had those international collaborations and been able to put out music that's of an international standard through your label. It's fantastic. How have you honed that quality product? How have you reached that point in your career?
If I was to offer just a little bit of, and this was shared with me probably 15 years ago by Don Nardi, who was one of the guys who really introduced me to a lot of the morals and ethics of the industry. And the studio as well. He's an amazing producer, and that is, you find works that inspire you, and you go about, and people have been doing this for years. Like, you try to create something similar to what they've created, but what you also do is, when it comes down to a mix sense and a mastering sense, you can actually sit down and you can layer up the tracks together, and you can compare until you've got a sound that you're happy is competing with your peers on an international level. So if you want to create an internationally acceptable product, you really just need to listen to what's out there already. In saying that, in the digital age, there's a lot of stuff out there that probably isn't hitting that mark, but you can hear it when you put something, when you play that next to a track that has been mixed and mastered by some people that are renowned for their quality and their eye for detail in the industry. It stands out. You put it on the system and you can hear the discrepancies in the mastering.
And it takes a while to get to that point, doesn't it? Just hard work, really? Or
you can also use what we did with a lot of our initial releases. We used mastering studios, and it can be expensive, but we used those until I was happy with how I could do it, and then I started to do it a little bit more in-house, and that comes down to money at the end of the day as well, you know.
But it's also about building that team around you too, and bringing in the right people, and again, it's that art of collaboration, you know, where you're weak, You bring
you bring in others.
stronger in.
Yeah, always.
Play to your strengths. Do what you do best. Don't compare yourself to others.
Learn from those collaborations. Put people on that are amazing at what they do.
If you could create a famous musician version of yourself, whose voice would you have?
Shaka Khan.
Yeah.
Shaka Khan.
Love it.
I can't think of a voice like anything like hers.
That's cool.
Or Stevie Wonder would probably be more suited, but I love
Why not
Shaka.
be Shaka Khan? Hey,
Yeah.
if you can be anything, be what you want to be. Thanks so much for coming.
Not a problem. Thank you.
Appreciate your time, James. You're the
Cheers.
best.
Cheers, Em.